Now, ChatGPT is great for a variety of use cases, but there is a way to have ChatGPT focus on specific tasks. One of the best ways to do that is actually by using the Explore GPTs functions. So what are GPTs? Well, as we talked about, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformers, and you could think of this as customized or smaller niche versions of the ChatGPT model that are specialized for specific tasks and use cases. The reason why those are important is, as I mentioned, ChatGPT in general, the GPT models are pre-trained on billions of parameters, meaning that it's going to pull its data and information from tons of different sources. And that makes it good for a utility case, general uses, but it may not always be great for a specific task because of it. But when you have a customized GPT, now that version of ChatGPT is going to be solely focused on performing this one task, so it's going to be much more efficient, it's going to be faster, and hopefully more productive when it comes to executing said task. So let's jump into it. How do we access exploring GPTs? Well, let's assume you have your sidebar closed. The first thing you're going to want to do is actually open up your sidebar by clicking on the top left here. And you'll notice that we have the options down below to explore GPTs. If we give that a click, it'll actually open up the GPT Marketplace. And what we're going to see is we can discover and create custom versions of ChatGPT that combine instructions, extra knowledge, and any combination of skills. And in this marketplace, you're going to see a combination of GPTs that were created by OpenAI themselves, as well as user-generated GPTs, which is really great. So there's going to be a lot of different user inputs based on folks that quite often use it, different organizations and such. Taking a look at the top here, you can see that we have a variety of different tasks that we can focus these GPTs on. So we can get GPTs that are focused specifically on writing. And you can see a variety of, and there's a mix of both human, like person created, individual created, organization created, and also OpenAI created ones. You have different productivity GPTs that you can use: Canva, video AI, image generator, photorealistic GPTs, research and analysis, education, lifestyle, and programming. So many options, and you can search for more and more. You can search for resume builder, for example. And you can search for GPTs that help you in terms of building out your resume. There are tons of options. Again, get creative. Think about what might be a situation where you like to have a specialized or customized version of ChatGPT. Search for it and see if there's things that pop up. Let's take a look at a big one that is very popular right now, which is Scholar GPT or Scholar AI. Scholar GPT, as you can see, if we give it a click, it specializes in enhancing research with 200 million plus resources and built-in critical reading skills. And what it does is that it actually pulls from Google Scholar, PubMed, and so many other scholarly websites and scholarly articles to give you your information. So let's go ahead and start a chat with this GPT here. And as you can see here, as we open up the Scholar GPT, again, a limitation of free is that you do have limited version capacities to use these custom GPTs. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to navigate over to my Plus account so you can see what that looks like in action. So I'm going to navigate just quickly over to my Plus account, and I opened up Scholar GPT, and we can see how we can use it. So I want to find the latest research about AI. You can provide a research paper and help actually get Scholar GPT's advice on analyzing and provide feedback on it. You can upload a PDF paper, use the critical skills to read it, and you can type out less to list my built-in critical reading skills. One of the great things about GPTs and their creators is that they often provide programming and inputs where the GPT can actually define itself in terms of what it can do. So oftentimes when I open up a brand new GPT I haven't utilized, I like to ask it the very first question is, what can you do? And what are some use cases where you are most useful? I always like to ask the GPT the question so I can learn a little bit more about what it is and what it does. So I asked Scholar GPT, what can you do and what are some use cases where you can be most useful? And it answered, I'm Scholar GPT, your advanced research assistant built to help with deep academic, technical, and data-driven tasks. Here's a quick rundown of what I can do, followed by some high-impact use cases. So here's giving me a summary of all that it can do, and then some high-impact use cases here. Literature review drafting, thesis dissertation data work, coursework help, academic paper comparison. There's so much that you can do with this particular GPT, which is why it's so popular. Actually, it's funny that it's mentioned this because this is exactly what I was going to ask it. I wanted to give it this topic. tell me about the recent AI applications in cancer diagnostics. So I'll go ahead and search it. And what it's going to do again, it's going to pull from sites like Google Scholars. It's going to pull from other scholarly websites to provide me an answer. Now, some of these GPTs do have what they call connectors, in which case you just need to allow permissions for you to trust it. Again, only do that for GPTs that you do trust and you know are safe. A lot of the ones that are the most popular in general have already been vetted by OpenAI, but that's not always the case, which is double check. And so it's working on providing me an answer right now. And you can see. And those connectors are essentially other AI bots that were used to design the GPT program. And so oftentimes you need to just allow those permissions so that those two AI agents can talk to each other. So here's an overview of the latest AI applications in cancer diagnostics based on 2025 research papers across peer-reviewed journals and preprint platforms. I could have typed in that same question into the normal ChatGPT, but because it's not focused on scholarly articles and research, it might have provided me some sources that aren't peer-reviewed and aren't scholarly. By using the specific GPT, I'm making sure that I'm getting the information I want because I'm building out an academic paper. So you can see here it's going to provide me with an overview, some key papers, and what's great about it is that it will actually provide links to these specific papers and articles that it used for its research. And so you can see here just that demonstration of the power of these customized GPTs. It makes your experience with ChatGPT that much more efficient and productive because you're providing a laser focus on a task and making sure that you're finding the best version or model in order to execute that task. So have some fun exploring different GPTs, find the ones that can help you, and then have some fun utilizing these AIs to their fullest potential.